And you know, Mr. Adesina, I want this because lots of people are now asking that if the president was able to speak to Donald Trump, even if it's for 5 minutes, he should be able to talk to Nigerians. Are you likely to also suggest that to him, that it's about time now, Mr. President, you need to talk to Nigerians?
Yes, don't forget what I said earlier. Communication can be verbal and non-verbal. It can be written, it can be visual. The president still communicated with Nigerians yesterday through the statement he authorized for release. Yes, but talking about verbal communication, why not? I also said it earlier. It can be recommended to Mr. President, but it will be up to him to accept or not to accept it.
That is through a statement he authorized through a third party to you?
It doesn't matter. It could be a fifth party, but as long as the source is authenticated, no problem.
Well, the thing is this, Mr. Adesina. Yes, it's a good thing that you have faith in the person that you serve him at the same time. By extension, you serve Nigerians. Is this the best mode? Because you're talking about strategy before we went on break.
Yes.
You talked about different types of communication. Is this the best method at this point, especially when people are asking for proof?
And the exigencies of the time will always matter. I told you, when Mr. President left, it was considered a private trip. It was a vacation, a holiday. You didn't need your media man during a holiday, at least not very, very, very essential at that point, to travel with him. That was why I stayed back. If I was there, of course, the strategy may have been different. But since I am here, the best strategy is the one we are using now. Get somebody to transmit his thoughts to me, authenticate that source. Once it's authenticated, I go ahead and issue.
Well, I think it's also important to say that we wish the president very well, and we wish that he'll be back in the country sooner rather than later. We have been speaking with Mr. Femi Adesina, who is special advisor to the president on media and publicity. I hand you back now to Lagos.
Thank you, Mark. But Mr. Masha, one wonders, looking through all of this, his media aides are in Nigeria, he's over there. If it turns out and he says, or they try to reach him, they can't reach him, or he wouldn't talk to Nigerians, what do they do?
Well, the pity the situation of Femi Adesina is struggling very hard to make sure that he does his job very well. But the real problem is that we really have a president who is not really gung-ho about communicating. You see, all this hoopla in the country about whether he's well, he's not well, I don't think he cares too much about it. If not, he will have, one way or the other, communicated directly and showed greater sense of concern, for our own concern about his concerns. But we have not seen that, and this is not new. This presidency has been like that. How many times has it really come out to communicate when there is tension, when there are anxieties in the country? It's a style, and that is so. I don't really think there's anything new with his silence. His silence has been. It could see it as stoic, as a sense of a man who is at peace with himself, even if the world is going into a blaze. But in a democracy, we need something more communicative about that. The people said the same thing of the military general when he was president of the U.S., Eisenhower. So even some people said it was a cold fish. But he tried to rise out of it, because you know that when you are in charge of civilians, it's not the same thing as being in charge of soldiers.
So what's next? Where does this story take us next?
The story takes us to increasing complications. That's where it takes us to, because the more time wears on, the more people fill in the gaps, the more people start saying what is happening to our president. So that's why it's not a good story.
Okay, because one wonders, if you look at this whole scenario, and then politicians keep telling us he's hale and hearty, he's chatty, he's fit as a fiddle, and they keep spending money going over there. And do they have to talk to us about it if he's not coming back?
Yeah, it becomes a drama. It becomes a drama. You see, you are the one who has information. People come here to tell you, to look at you, and then everybody becomes a doctor. I saw him. For goodness sake, people who are even at the point of death are witty. I gave instance yesterday to some people about John Adams and Thomas Jefferson. They died 1 hour of each other, and they were lifetime enemies. So while Thomas Jefferson was dying, he said, "So John Adams lives." And then when John Adams was dying, not knowing that Jefferson had said, he said, "So Jefferson lives." So each of them didn't want each other to live. They were very witty at the point of death. So you can see, Jesus Christ was witty at the point of death. Eh?
Well, yeah, a good scenario.
Oh Lord, why have thou forsaken me? Is there a greater coup than that? Somebody who's dying.
That's a fine place to live with. But Sabomashe is the chairman editorial board of the Nation newspapers. Thank you for coming on this morning.
Welcome.
And we also most certainly wish the president well and wish him come back on a happy note so we all can keep laughing and smiling about it. Amen. Well, that's this segment now. But let's go over now, switch focus to another matter which equally concerns Nigerians as well. Markwe?